Hey guys, Dawson and I went on a little outing today. We went up by the Oneida Indian Reservation, and it's by the Turning Stone Casino and Sylvan Beach Park. On our way up, the truck started skipping, bucking, check engine light come on, then the check engine light started flashing. So we turned around and we come back to the nearest AutoZone, and they loaned me the scanner I plugged in, and it's a P302, which is a misfire, single cylinder misfire. So while we were in there, we've got a Motorcraft spark plug and a Duralast coil. And I have no tools with me because we didn't think we'd have an issue. And so they're loaning me a couple tools, and then I gotta buy a couple tools. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up here on, I got it through a drop cloth up here because the engine's hot. Ford puts the spank forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over there. So it's a second cylinder back. We're going to replace that ignition coil. And as long as we're going to do the ignition coil, I thought we might better do the spark plug at the same time. And that's because we drove it for almost 10 miles to get back to an auto parts store that was open on a weekend. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to go to number 2, disconnect the coil pack, and it's really hot. And I don't have an air compressor with me. Be nice to blow all the debris out of here. This is the injector, but we should be fine just doing this. This should be 7mm. Yep. They loaned me a ratchet, a socket. We're going to pull this pack out. We're right out here in their parking lot. It's hot, it's 83 degrees. And we're going to try to do this without getting burnt, without dropping crap down in that cylinder. Well, let's remove that bolt, get it out of the way. We'll take our coil, and like I said, if you look real close here, can you see down in there? A lot of debris. Fords are noted for it. If you look right here, this is where the wheel well is. All the junk flies up there. I don't know why they don't cover this better. I think we need to clean that out. So I pull this out, everything's falling down in there. So let me come up with an idea. There's a lot of debris down in there, and I had a straw in the truck. I don't have an air compressor. So I blew a lot of junk out of there and used a stick. Let's see what we got here. I'm hoping to find something wrong. It'd be nice. But it's really important to get the dirt away from there, because I open that up and I don't want it to get down in the cylinder. Looking at this coil pack, looks like a little bit of carbon tracking a little bit here. That would be nice if I can see something wrong. You don't want to wipe them off. You want to look at them. Down the side of this, I don't see any silverish color. I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to pull this boot off, and I'm going to see if I can see any damage on it. I want to find out if it's a coil pack, if it's a plug. I don't see any cracking, a little bit of discoloring there. Hard to tell if there's anything wrong. Then you look inside your boot and see if there's any like problems there. I don't see any, so I'm going to set this aside. And then I'm going to come up to the spark plug, and I'm going to get you down in there so you can see it. We're going to see if there's any kind of liquid or any problem down in the spark plug well. And I put these in, I don't know, a year or two ago, and I believe they were Motorcraft. I don't see any liquid in there like oil or antifreeze. I think Ford could have come up with a better deep well design. But all right, we're going to take that spark plug out. And I think this is a 2010, but I think they all have the brown boot. And so I'm going to compare. Always compare. Make sure your stuff is the same. This one's a Duralast. They did put a little bit of grease on them. Check your connections. It looks good. It doesn't look... This is the other thing, guys. A lot of times these places sell it to somebody and somebody takes it home and they try it on their vehicle, and that's not the problem. They'll bring it back. So I always look to make sure somebody hasn't used it yet. You know, and this one looks brand new. So that's our coil pack. Here's our spark plug. And this is a Motorcraft. And you just got to be careful not to... I think these are called a rig... if I can say it right. Rignium. That tip. And it is a Ford plug. I wish it was a Ford coil. Now, we bought a socket because mine is at home. I don't see it here. Do you have it, Dawson? No, turn it back on. It's still right there. But it's a 9/16. This is a Duralast. It's got a magnetic sleeve on it. And we're going to take that spark plug out, hopefully. I'm going to blow down in that cylinder with the straw first, down in that tube. This engine's hot, and I want to, after we took the boot off, now I want to make sure there's no more debris down in there. I dropped my spark plug wrench, but that's all right. Now, keep it very straight. See how you can move it around? You want to keep it very straight. See how tight I got it last time. Ah, nice. I put anti-seize on it, I think. But Ford, some of the earlier ones, I think, had problems with trying to get the spark plug out. And like I said, I think I did this, I gotta look it up, but around 2 years ago, between 1 and 2 years ago. So it's probably got close to 10,000 miles on them. And I think these plugs are designed to go 100,000 miles. We'll find that out. But because we had that misfire, I mean, the truck was bucking and everything, and so I didn't think it was drivable, but I kept going. I didn't want to foul the spark plug, so let's do this too. I don't want to put the new coil in and still have a spark plug problem. Let's see if we come out with it. Awesome. Let's see if they're the same. Let's look at our plug. So there's a little crud on the threads. And see this shiny base, that means the plug was down all the way. Usually if you get crud in there and you try to tighten it, you're not even getting the plug down. You look at this and see how clean that looks. It's not brown, it's not wet. I think this plug looks fine on that side. Let's see, still pretty hot. Now you look up the side of the plug, make sure there's not a crack in it. And this is a Motorcraft Platinum. And then the one I bought is a Motorcraft. Let's see what the difference is. I don't know. It's a little different. But everything appears exactly the same. And the tip looks the same, so I don't know. And the number, 24FP. This is different, right? It's a 12YT4. I'm going to use it because that's what they recommended. I saw it myself on the computer. And unless this is a clone plug, they make them. But I don't see any carbon tracking. Anything, you guys see anything wrong? There's a little nick there or something. But it looks to me like there's nothing wrong with this spark plug. The coil had a couple little hot spots on it. So I don't have any lubricant with me, but I'm going to go ahead and put this spark plug in there. Hopefully it'll go in nicely. I'm not really dressed for this. I don't have any tools. I usually don't go anywhere without tools. And you see this? He gave me the wrong plug for this socket. So we're going to have to go back in and see if they did give me the wrong plug. Alright, we went back into the AutoZone, and remember, this is the only auto parts store open on a Saturday. This is the original plug. I took it in the store, but if you look, there's no foul. It might be fine, but they don't have another plug other than a Bosch, which looks like a different heat range, and I'm afraid I don't want to put in different types. And I do have a set of plugs at home, the old set, so I think I want to put this back in. They gave me a little brush I could clean the threads up, so let's put this back down in there. And I'm pretty sure the coil pack was the issue. We'll get them threaded in good by hand. And like I said, there's no oil leak, no antifreeze leak. I was concerned a head gasket, some kind of issue here. Sometimes you get antifreeze into the little wells there, but it's dry. I showed you that. Everything looks fine. This is cylinder 2. That's just 2 misfire we had. So let's tighten this back up. And be careful not to. Let's see here. I don't want to get it too tight. Go straight up. Alright, now we're going to put our new coil pack on. This is a Duralast C1659, and it's a 2010 5.4. There is a little grease on that. And we're just going to put this back down in there. Snap her in. Get under our wires here. Line up our screw. That sounded pretty good. Yep. Now we got to have our screw. Now we got to try to get this 7mm line back up. Like, this engine's hot. We had the AC running. It's in the 80s out. It's kind of hot. And the good thing about this auto parts store is there's a Tractor Supply across the street this way. There's a Walmart across the street that way. So if we had to do any other type of repair, we got a place to get the stuff. Alright, so is that lined up? Get that in there proper. We'll run this down by hand, 7mm. Feels like it's going. I don't know. Guess so. Yeah, tighten that up. And they don't need to be very tight. Factory spec, right? So many inch pounds. Is that going down good? Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. And then we'll plug our wire back on. Where'd I put it? Let's look at our wire. It looks like it has some of that dielectric grease. Wires look okay. The only thing I'm noticing in here, guys, on visual inspection is here's wire loom holders. So these are supposed to go down here, and that elevates that wire up. So this wire pack is sitting right on that hot manifold there. That one looks almost upside down. But I'd like to, I think what I'm going to do is elevate them when I get home and get them up off in there. So now let's test this out. I'm going to start it up, and Dawson's going to go back by the exhaust, and you can listen to hear if there's a skip out of it.
Yep.
Oh, it sounds 100% better. Let me put it in drive. See if you hear it. Alright guys, this might have been cheap. I don't know. We bought a socket that we didn't harm, you know, if we even needed it. But they loaned us the other tool, and we got a $40 coil pack. So if this fixes it, it sounds good right now. If everything's fine, we're going to go on a little golfing trip. Dawson wants to go golfing. He's getting pretty good at it. Beating me. And other than that, guys, that's just a simple fix. And let me show you one other thing. Now, back in the fall, I don't know if you remember, I was under here doing a service or something, or spring, and this was dripping. And this is just a flush. And this was dripping on the coil packs. So, is this related? It could be. If so, like I said, I want to come back and possibly take that out and just put in like a brass type nipple with a double clamp and get rid of this plastic thing. It's right over top of the coils. That could have led to, you know, a failure. So we're going to drive it, test it, and we save a big tow bill, guys. We'll see you on the next one.